And now I'm going to read you 3 more stories. And I'm going to do it on the next one too. Okay, and now let's get started. The first story is, which I know I already read you on the last video, and now I'm reading to you again. And now this one is called Grand Theft. It's a funny story, true from Amazing True Stories. One evening in Los Angeles, Miss H. Sharp was taking her dog Jonathan for a walk. Miss Sharp, as always, had brought along a pooper scooper and a plastic bag to clean up after her dog. The two had a long and pleasant walk. Jonathan had finished his business, and Miss Sharp had finished her cleanup. It was getting dark. The two headed for home. Suddenly, Miss Sharp heard a rustling noise behind her. Frightened, she hurried her pace, but in the next instant, a shadowy figure rushed up from behind and snatched Miss Sharp's bag from her hand and rushed off into the darkness. It wasn't a handbag that the thief got. It was a plastic bag, and you know what was in that bag. One can only imagine the look on that thief's face when he looked in the bag to count his loot and discovered what he had stolen. It would seem that this is one of those rare cases in which the criminal really got what he deserved. Okay, I'm reading you another story. This one is of the one I read was about a dog. Now this one is about another dog. It's called In the Pen. The year is 1924. The place, Pike County, Pennsylvania. Looking sad and a bit confused, the prisoner was led into court. The character witness took the stand and testified that the accused was usually well-mannered, fun-loving, and friendly, but the evidence was clear the prisoner had committed murder. More witnesses called, and they described the killing in detail. It was an open and shut case. Guilty, thundered the judge. The prisoner hung his head but said nothing. Then he was led away. He was loaded into a paddy wagon and taken to the state penitentiary. The sentence, life in prison. In 1930, the prisoner died behind bars in the arms of a fellow inmate. Others looked on and wept as he passed away. On the surface, this would seem to be an ordinary story, an ordinary case. It's not. In fact, it is one of the strangest criminal cases on record. Why? For one reason, the prisoner was a dog. I'll show you a picture of him. Now you know. You give your hand to me, and you say hello. Pep was a black Labrador retriever. Pep's crime, he had killed the cat of the governor of Pennsylvania. You think you know me well. The governor loved his cat as though it were a person. He wanted it killed and treated as though human. The governor was also a judge. He demanded not only that P.E.P. be tried for murder, but that he be tried in his own courtroom. As to a juror, there would be none. The judge would render the verdict. P.E.P. didn't have a chance. The judge had already made up his mind what to do with the dog, and off to prison he went. Fortunately, our story can end on a happy note. P.E.P. was allowed to wander at will through the prison. When the other prisoners went out on work detail, he trotted along. He trotted out. Along was what I added. Trotted out with them, kept them company. Everybody liked him. And he liked everybody. He brought joy to his fellow inmates, and he was lavish with love till the day he died. And now I see Standoff. December 2nd, 1975 was a freezing cold day in Carson City, Nevada. Harold H.E.S.S., a local businessman, had just finished an errand, making his way back to his car. He was annoyed to find a policeman writing him a parking ticket. Hoss went to the policeman. He explained that he didn't deserve a ticket. He had tried to put money in the parking meter, but it was frozen. Took out a dime, and he showed the policeman that the meter wouldn't work. The policeman just shrugged. "That's not my problem," he said, handing Mr. Hoss the ticket. Through angry Mr. H.E.S.S. Sorry, I said Hoss. H.E.S.S. decided to pay the fine. The following day, he walked into the courtroom. After waiting his turn, he walked up to a justice of the peace, smiled, and presented him with a large block of ice. In the center of the frozen block were the ticket and the money to pay the fine. "Hey, how am I supposed to get out of there? Get that out of there," he demanded the justice of the peace. Mr. H.E.S.S. just shrugged. That's not my problem," he said, and he walked out of the room.